This podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool Tees. Watch this. Listen!
SundayCool.com. It's our brand new website. You gotta check it out. Right, Josh?
You gotta check it out. It's the best. We work so hard on making a new website so it's easier for you to order t-shirts.
Guys, this brand new website is so easy to use. You can browse thousands of our customizable templates that you can use for your group, your business. It's really great.
It sure is, Andy. And guess what? We have a new Ninjas of Butterflies page smack dab on the new website where you can see all of our latest episodes, news updates, and you can even see all the merch right there on SundayCool.com.
Also, all of the other videos and comedy sketches that we do, it's all available there, and you get to learn more about who Sunday Cool is and why it's the greatest company in the world.
We forgot to mention that there's also a new customer portal for all new and existing customers to use on the website. Super easy to use, and you can track everything of your order progress. Order progress?
Process. And the progress on the process.
So go check it out, SundayCool.com. Yeah.
SundayCool.com.
Hey, I've caught fish off of hot dogs.
When did he catch that?
Me too, and bacon.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It looks like he has wild shiners.
That's like a 4-pounder.
Wild shiners are cheating.
How's that cheating?
Using what they actually eat? Come on, dude.
Josh, call me.
It's only a challenge if you catch them on something impossible.
Call me.
I caught a marlin with a lamp one time. Do what? Dude.
Zang,
boy.
What
Zang.
happened?
What happened to you, dude?
Shut
I'm just
up.
kidding. You know why? You are a very attractive man.
You are.
I'll be honest with you, because you know why? I was watching a movie last night that reminded me of you.
Who?
Don't say it.
Legends of the Fall, baby! I finished it last night.
It really reminded you?
Yeah, I was just like, I could see some similar. This is Josh if he was in that time. I'm like, that's Josh. Obviously, there are some differences.
Like
he has blonde hair.
Right.
That's about it,
That's
right?
about it, yeah. It's definitely not his physique.
Chiseled jawline, perfect beard,
His-
dreamy blue eyes.
Am
Beautiful butt.
Am I Isabel too, or am I Suzanne?
Who do you want to be?
Don't be, dude.
Either.
Don't be Suzanne, dude.
Okay, what's your hot take on Suzanne?
Okay.
I'm curious to hear.
Should we talk about this right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I have a lot. It was a brutal movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Just skip forward if you don't want to see it. If you don't want to hear it, dude. So many people died.
Yeah.
And
Like
it's
everyone.
crazy. And yeah, Susanna went through it, dude.
Yeah.
Not only did she have conflicting feelings with a loving husband she already had, conflicting feelings because he's attractive.
Yeah.
She'd known him for like 6 hours. And she
Yeah.
immediately is just like, I'm like, that's just
You can't not.
That's lust and infatuation, lady. That's not love.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I
But
don't
then
know.
and then dude, that war scene, him against the barbed wire, bro. Oh my goodness. Have you not seen this?
wasn't he
Dude,
yelling-
you got it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm ruining it for you.
You're like,
Can you
what?
turn down mine just a hair?
Yeah.
Dude, and that was the most brutal scene I've ever pictured in my
The
mind.
mustard
know.
gas scene?
It scarred
Yes.
me
Yeah.
for life.
Dude,
That's how you know the film is good, though, is because he's never seen it, and you guys have been ragging on him, and then he watches it, and the next day he's going off.
what's his brother's name?
Sam.
Yeah. Dude, Samuel!
Yeah.
Samuel! Dude, he kept yelling it, and I was like annoyed at first, but then I was like, and I felt it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a traumatic scene.
Then what's-
and then it
what's
kept
Brad's
getting worse. Tristan. Which I
Tristan.
don't, I mean, no offense to Tristan's. Not
No.
a tough guy name.
It is.
Prove me wrong.
It is.
Don't meet me in the parking lot, Tristan's. But like, I really just did not feel.
He's the
it was-
original
it was-
Tristan.
It's a hard name.
Yeah.
That threw me off at the beginning. I was like, I see this really tough Native American.
I think Tristan.
saying name Tristan. I'm like, this doesn't seem
When I
right.
hear Tristan, I hear aloof.
Aloof.
Yeah, or just like mysterious.
Yeah.
And which he kind of
Maybe.
was.
And it really, it changed my
Yeah.
mind a little bit.
like doesn't fit
but
into
I wonder-
the normal crowd.
Yeah. I guess I thought it was just kind of a newer name. Maybe it does have like a historical context I have no idea of. But then the other brother.
What are you laughing at?
What? And then what got you? Say it.
I'm
We can't move on.
Yeah,
I'm
say it.
literally never going to say it as long as I live.
Okay. You're all right, whatever. And then so he comes home and then the other brother just assumes you're my bride.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, no, I
Yeah,
literally
the
said I
eldest-
said no, and then he just got mad. So I hated him until the very end when he takes the
Yeah,
shot.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
He was terrible, and then but she went through it. She had to go with
know.
somebody, then denied with Tristan, all that stuff, and then the end, bro. Also,
Isabel too.
Tristan, yeah, Isabel
You're not
too.
even commenting
no,
on Isabel
I don't
too.
want to keep ragging on it,
That-
but it's crazy. I
that-
can't believe that happened.
That scene.
That cop.
My grandmother let me watch these movies like way too young, right? And the scene where she's in the car and then the mom, you hear her start wailing and you see it's so shocking. I remember I will never get that image burned.
The
out of
him,
my
yeah,
head.
hugging her, saying no, like dude, going after him. The scalping scene. Oh my
yeah.
goodness! And then him missing out on his dad with the stroke and everything.
I know.
The hurt in his eyes. I'm like, this guy. A lot of it's self-inflicted. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just talk about your feelings. Look at me. Dude, Anthony Hopkins was so good.
So
Yeah.
good.
He was. I felt it, man.
Golly, I'm sorry. I have to pee one more time.
No, you're good. We'll keep talking about this and we'll move on past it because I'm sure this is boring for some people. But dude, it was but it was just so good. It
So
just
good.
you never knew where it was going to end. You kind of did in a little way. It does bum me out Tristan's character like
Yeah, in the end,
you
how
can't
he's
really
a little selfish.
No one's good in that movie except Susanna and is the ladies and the Native Americans.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
you know,
Well, and
with the-
Anthony Hopkins, I think, is good, right?
yeah.
He has some follies, but after the stroke, he's just a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's just tough. Like he's tough on his kid. Too tough on his kids.
Yeah, I
you
suppose.
can't. I mean, I can't. I don't know. I have a hard time.
I don't know how it's like to have
not
sons.
talking to your son, casting like I can't imagine
Yeah.
not talking to my kid.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, so that was tough. He was just a little too stubborn. But I mean, everyone redeemed themselves at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see necessarily why Tristan had to literally just go fight a bear and die. It's like
He's just a poetic person.
I know, but you had a son, and I know the other guy lost his wife, so maybe he can put his energy into the son. So I don't know. It was a crazy movie, and I don't know why it took me so long to watch it. I apologize, but it led up to a great moment. I was watching it last night. We were literally all in bed, and the girls usually sleep with us on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
and
that's fun.
Their movie, it was Parent Trap was on, and they all fell asleep. So I was like, I'll just turn on Legends of the Fall, and I'll fall asleep if I need to. And they just kept me up throughout the whole movie.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, have you seen A River Runs Through It?
No, that's next.
That's next.
That's next.
It's not as good as Legends of the Fall, but it's
Yeah.
written in the same font.
Yeah.
How would you describe, like, what do you call those types of movies? It's almost like a storybook movie, or like a movie that you read like a book.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you call that?
I don't know.
Narrative movie. I don't know.
Adventure movie.
Novel movie.
Novelty.
They did
No.
prepare. What's his face? The other brother, Alfred.
Is that his name? Alfred.
Alfred, yeah. Which all just weird names that I wasn't really expecting for each of the characters.
Yeah, they.
But he compared the love that he had for Savannah as like a novel. So
Oh,
it makes
really?
sense in the movie. So that could be possibly it. Also, that guy, Alfred, is the dude in Haunting of Hill House, the dad. He's like the guy in all the horror movies now with Mike Flanagan or whatever his name is.
No way.
Yeah, same
not-
guy.
it's not the
no,
same
I,
guy.
I looked it up. The same guy.
Hey, do you want a song?
No, it was one of the brothers.
I'm glad you
Might have
liked
been
it.
Samuel.
I think it's Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel. Sorry. Yeah, Samuel. My bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, thank you.
I never made that connection.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks
I want to.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your 1 out of 10?
Oof. That would be I would say 8.6.
Good. That's good.
8.6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I liked it.
The bear scene?
Dude, wild, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Song?
Just
All right.
All right.
Boom,
As you wish. Only because Lily requested we do a song.
Yeah, only
Yeah, we didn't
because
have to
I-
ask her. Nope. She walked in and said, I want a song.
please.
Give me a
Song, please.
give me.
All right.
Alrighty.
When are you going in?
I did. We starting off with a big one?
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
I said ninjas.
Ninjas?
Are butterflies.
Are butterflies.
Welcome to the butterflies. Welcome to the show.
Nope.
No.
Let's start over.
Okay.
I liked
All
it.
right.
I thought I messed it up. I thought it was the other part. My bad.
You should just start out by saying, I said.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
I said ninjas
Ninjas
are butterflies.
are butterflies.
Ninjas are butterflies. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I said ninjas
Ninjas
are butterflies.
are butterflies.
Episode 79. What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Walking through the street, saw an old lady, said, oh, hey, nice to see your face.
Nice to see your face. We're gonna get in diddly do. Diddly-diddly-do. Ribbity-do. Ribbit-dip. Ribbit-da-da-boo.
I said ninjas are butterflies. Welcome to the show. You're in for quite a surprise. That was
Quite a
the
surprise,
line.
all right,
You got it.
yeah.
That was the line. Welcome to the show. You're in for quite a surprise.
We did ninjas are butterflies.
Surprise.
Ninjas are butterflies. What else? Or you're in
No.
for quite a surprise.
It was welcome to the show. You're in
No,
for
we
quite
never-
a surprise.
We never said that.
Yes, that was the whole line. And then we go
No.
ninjas are butterflies.
I don't know if I should make
Episode
my
79. We 100% said welcome to the show.
Either way,
Arm wrestle.
We tried to
thumb wrestle.
write it while you were peeing.
Hmm?
So this is what we came up against.
I had asked for a cursive song.
Oh, let's do a cursive song.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Think Lord.
You're probably right.
lead it.
Hey,
You lead it
Hey,
You lead it now.
What is she saying?
come on, Andy.
I'm saying
song
you're
really is
right. You're right. You're right.
Stop it.
No, you probably are right.
I know I am. First of all,
Okay.
I'm saying you take the lead on this one now
Okay.
because I can't do it. I got in my head. I thought I was in.
Get
another
out of
zone.
your head.
You guys wrestle about it. Get him!
I'm trying to put my finger in.
Josh, you're gonna break your neck.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Really?
No. I'm not upset. I promise you. I'm bummed I messed up the song because we were doing it good earlier.
I probably messed it up.
If you
No,
were
it's
just
fine.
listening on Spotify, Josh actually climbed across the table and would you call that like a leg hug?
It was more of a fireman's carry.
Out of breath.
Okay.
Are you guys interested at all in having a ninja show play in the background?
Oh, I totally forgot. My bad.
No, I got it playing.
You know, when I drink one of these, I feel like Bella when she's pregnant and has to drink blood to nourish her baby.
Styrofoam cup.
Yeah,
She's like,
it's bee juice.
What is? I saw a video of somebody going to Forks and they has what is the baby's name?
Renesmee.
Renesmee stickers at the gas register. It was just her terrifying.
speaking of Renesmee. I'm
Say it
drinking-
again?
Speaking of Renesmee. That's what I said.
Renesmee.
Shh. We have a question that has affected everyone and will affect everyone. Past, present, future. 50% of the population to 100% of the population. This question has been asked since the dawn of man. Really?
Really?
Really? Today's question, sent in by a viewer. Do women belong in history?
What does that
That's
even
the question.
What do you mean? What does that mean? It's the question. Do women belong in history?
You want me to go first?
In honor of Women's History Month.
Yeah, it's today. Starts today, March 1st.
So the question that was sent in to us by a viewer.
By a viewer. We want to make very clear. It's by a viewer.
By a viewer.
And
Do
we-
women
Lily the woman,
Yes.
Lily, do women belong in history?
Do I go first? Can I go first?
Yeah.
No. Right out the gate. No, obviously.
Yeah, you have a moral responsibility to say no.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, yeah. Well,
I don't know where this is going.
it's a yes or no.
Just go on record.
Do women belong in history?
Do women belong in history? Go on record.
Yes.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Okay, I don't want you to go any further because I feel like you're going to cancel yourself right now. Because what you're saying, Josh, tell them what she's saying.
If I'm getting this right, Andy,
Yep.
Lily is saying women belong just in history.
Yeah.
There's no future for women.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
There's
And
no
then
present.
There's no
for
present.
women.
Some would say women are our presents.
Some would say women are present and they are our future, but Lily is confining them just to history?
Lily.
You want
That
to get
they
rid of all...
just belong in textbooks?
That's disgusting.
Lily, women are worth so much more than that.
Yes.
So much more. They'll create more history in the future.
Absolutely. And with her in charge, we'd have no more women from here on out.
Golly, Lily. Well, you guys heard it here first. Lily doesn't think women belong anywhere except in the pages of history. Welcome to the show.
That's not what I said.
Boo.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind. You learn martial arts. Ninjas attack!
Everyone get in here, Bill Lily. Everyone, just the whole
Mute the
production
TV.
staff.
Mute.
Would you quit screwing up today?
Sorry,
Golly, dude.
it's my illness.
He is sicky.
Listen,
sick?
Listen to my voice.
How'd you get sick? Tell them yesterday morning. How'd you get sick? What were you doing?
It wasn't last night, but the night before. This is the 4th week of our family having some type of sickness.
Flu bee. Stomach bug.
Stomach bug.
The curse continues. Could someone out there please make a graph who started at the beginning of this podcast and watched all the way through, like a whole graph of everything that's bad that's happened in your guys' lives, so we can look at it like on a timetable?
We should.
And figure out a theme. We have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, and the owl migration probably works in that way.
Yeah. I was getting philosophical with your mom, and I'm just like, all these things, these inconveniences. Is
Yeah.
that just being an adult and we just dramatize it?
It's
A little bit of both. Because sometimes it's all self-inflicted. Like, like, I can't believe I have to go down and like to do this. It's like, yeah, because you forgot to pay them or you forgot to pick this up. It's
Yeah.
like, that's your own fault.
It's a testing of our faith.
Are you saying that our issues are our fault?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyways, I got sick
Your
because
appendix.
2 nights ago, Ada has a virus now, and I was reading her a book, right? Just reading it like this, and I was like midway through a word, like the, and she was laying right here. She leans over and just goes right into my mouth.
Weren't you guys having like a sentimental moment too? Like it was a really precious moment?
Yeah, we were just reading a book, and it was like so sweet. She was just like laying on me, and then she just sat up and sneezed directly into my mouth. And I go, oh! I'm like, Ada!
Dude,
And
that's how she expresses
felt
love.
super self-conscious. She's like, I'm like, it's okay. And I'm just like, ugh. And then the next morning I woke up, I'm like, ow, my throat hurts.
One of her pukes. I remember I was in the hallway and I'm literally just doing this and you said, Lily, put her in the bathtub.
Lily, she was at the bathroom door and Ada's just going, bleh, bleh. I'm like, you can pick her. Like, she's going to throw up no matter what.
Yeah.
Carry her to the tub.
Yeah.
Instead, it was just the hallway. Just like, bleh.
As if my hands can hold. It's like from Wayne's World. If you're going to spew into this.
Yeah.
It's like a Dixie cup.
Yeah, there's been a lot of puke, a lot of buggers.
Yep.
And, yep.
I think that's how she expresses her love though.
Yeah.
Puking?
Sneezing in your mouth and
Oh.
puking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like anything that just comes out of her face, just like that's her love and saying, "Hey, Dad, Mom, I love you this much."
Yeah. Speaking of Ada,
Yeah.
after this Patreon episode 79 and a half, Ada will be on this podcast. So you
She's
guys
making her
will get-
podcast debut
Yeah, Ada's going to make her podcast debut.
out of
So,
pure
That's
necessity, right? Just because.
Yeah, Lily has to pick her up from preschool.
That's gonna be great. We can interview her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait. People are gonna love her.
She's
Speaking-
just going to be like, eyes, nose, mouth.
I wonder if she'll sit.
Yeah, maybe she'll sit in my lap.
She could have my phone. We'll get her candy, whatever we have to do.
I've got a ratchet strap.
If there's
tape her to the couch.
Speaking of Ada, though,
Yes.
remember, was it 2 episodes ago? We talked about it was 2 episodes ago, 77. We talked about the DEWs and the blue houses and stuff.
Yes.
We have a fun little update. I haven't told you this yet. Danny Roordance, our marketing director,
all of our boss.
all of our bosses,
Daddy.
All hail King Danny.
he came down the other day. He's like, I forgot to tell you. He said, we just got these new neighbors, and big house, right? They decided to paint their house the weirdest shade of blue ever.
Yeah.
And have you heard this already?
No, we see it driving
Yeah.
in.
And
It's noticeable?
It's like kind of ugly blue.
Yeah.
like they just moved in, painted it all blue.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have seen it too. We all went to a Christmas party at his house.
Danny found out that the lady that owns the house used to work for, what was it? Secret Services.
No way!
She was like a special agent or something within the FBI or something.
It might have been CIA. I can't remember.
Special.
Yeah, I can't
Did
remember.
she move in proximity to the boss of this podcast?
I don't know.
What? Wait, don't. I never thought about that.
I found that super weird that she worked high up in the intelligence division of the government.
Weird.
Moved in, decided to paint this house the worst color of blue, apparently.
But the roof is like white.
Hey,
Yeah.
I thought the roof is what mattered.
what about the extra clue to this conspiracy?
What's that?
Our DEW video got taken down.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. On
They're censoring us.
on Instagram.
Don't we love free
On
speech?
on TikTok, it got taken down completely when we were talking about the blue houses and stuff.
Did you see the people? I can't remember which platform it was on, but it was like people who were actually both in Hawaii and in Chile. Were like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm from this area. For sure, not normal. Like multiple people.
And we didn't state it as fact. It's all theory. This is all theories.
And then
What are
you
we
showed
doing?
me the video in Chile. These locals are starting to paint their roofs blue. They're literally
Have you
on top
not-
of their
Because they're
Yeah,
buying
it's-
into. No, I haven't seen
They're
it.
literally
They're buying
like
into it too.
dumping like blue paint on their
Dude.
like little aluminum or like metal
Just rolling
roofs,
it out?
and they literally have rollers. They're all rolling the roofs blue.
See, people are concerned, so we need to get this out there. There needs to be in conversation about it, right?
What if they're just like watching our podcast in Chile and they're
We're
like,
just inciting fear around the globe.
There's murals, ninjas or butterflies everywhere.
I suggested they make erect a statue of our
us in the
likeness,
town?
holding a paintbrush.
Yeah, paintbrush it blue.
That's a life goal, is to just be traveling and then be like, wait,
That looks
That's-
kind of like.
I think that's us.
Yeah,
But then we look and Andy's like a frog.
I'm telling you, it's,
Just with a beard. It's the fattest frog I've ever seen.
oh yeah, but I thought that was weird, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been thinking about how you do it stylishly because I'm not anti-blue. I just feel like all the blue I've seen for the lasers is not like my shade of blue. Maybe we could get like terracotta tiles and paint them blue.
It's like, what if I don't want to die in a laser attack, but I want to do it aesthetically? You know, like,
Make it at least look good.
yeah, I can't. I mean, like, can we do like what is it? A blue jay blue, please?
Secret Service listeners, can you tell us what Pantone color blue we need to be safe from the lasers?
Yeah, drop it down in the comments, guys. Give us the paint code from Sherman.
Oh yeah, but
That is crazy.
that's weird, man.
I don't know, like, because that's the thing. Why take it down? Just put a warning like YouTube does sometimes at the bottom of our videos. Like, just put a warning.
Yeah, like with
or-
the chemtrails.
Yeah, like
They
some.
hit us with a factual thing. Of
It's
like,
a contrail.
yeah.
But like how, when you're scrolling TikTok and they have the ones that are censored, like watch anyway. This like like it may be just like scary or something. It's like just do that. Just put up if you have to do that, whatever. It's
They
gonna get
also
us more
did it. They
views
also
anyway.
did it on Instagram with the prohibition reel.
Yeah, thanks Lily, getting us in trouble.
I know, but
with
it
a
almost
made-up story.
validates it.
But
It
it's
almost
like-
validates it when
really
they do
does.
it.
It does though.
Yeah.
We say so much outlandish stuff that makes no sense, and then the things we're like, hey, this actually feels real. It's like gone.
I know. And doesn't I don't know. Maybe it's the Holy Spirit, but like when something like just resonates with you, even though if you don't know if it truly is truth or not, God asks us to use our wisdom, But does he care about stuff like fueling
cares
your
about the
cars
truth.
with alcohol.
He cares about the truth. And
Yeah.
if there are people, lying, that's the difference. And so, but when it came to that stuff, there's may have been like, that's the reason on paper, by law, this is why it was passed. But it's like, there's motives behind everything.
Yes.
So all you were saying was like, this was the motive behind it.
Because it never
It's like
made sense.
the laws were real.
Yeah.
And like what was on paper is real, but.
It never made
she,
sense.
She used the phrase "the real reason of the prohibition."
Oh God.
Oh, so it was like
No, it wasn't.
it was too definitive.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe
Yeah, so
let's
thanks
just
a lot.
Be professionally vague.
Yeah, we have to every reel now. We have to say this is for entertainment purposes only, and then they won't flag it.
But it's real.
But it's real.
But it's real and you should absolutely believe it right now.
The entertainment is that this is truth. This is factual.
Listen, don't listen to the lizard people.
Speaking of factual, the Sora AI,
Dude. Yes.
Crazy.
I can't wait to
new-
start using it.
the new Open AI,
Yeah.
is the most terrifying thing ever.
I don't know what this is.
Oh, snap.
I thought I showed you clips of it.
The AI video simulator
You
or
didn't tell me what it
generator.
was called. You
Oh.
just said, look at the difference between Will Smith eating spaghetti and
Yeah,
this.
it's called Sora AI.
That's the takeaway.
But it's so realistic, it's freaky,
And it's quick.
and it's only been a year in the making since the first version came out.
Yeah.
And it's like it's progressing way too fast. It's really freaky. But what's the freakiest part to me? Everything looks so real. Their eye movements kind of look a little whack sometimes.
Hands are off, obviously.
No, but that's what I was getting to. The hands.
Yeah.
AI does not know how to mimic hands.
Well, neither does really anybody. Have you seen it's like the hardest thing in art?
Oh yeah, I
Is
guess
a
so.
hand.
Yeah, but all the things that
But it's
AI
artificial
can do.
intelligence. It's like it can literally create the freaking Trump hugging aliens in front of the pyramids.
Yeah, his hands look fine.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like movement and stuff. Like the
Oh,
one
I
with
see.
the old lady blowing out the candles on
Yeah.
the cake.
At first glance, it looks great.
And there's a lady in the background clapping, and then all of a sudden her hand starts doing like this.
Ew, ew, ew.
Yeah. And every time you focus on a different detail, like even the candle movement, the way her eyes move, the hands in the back look like it turned into a club at one point. Like it's wacky. They just can't land it.
I'm telling you,
Only
AI,
God can create hands.
I really think
Yeah.
AI is some dark entity.
My brain, when you were talking about the hands, my brain goes to this. I'm like, when they start creating, like they get access to a 3D printer and they start creating their own little like minions
Yeah.
of AI, are their hands going to move like this? Because that'll be the scariest thing ever.
Seeing that in real life would be crazy. What do you when you say dark entity? What do you mean by that? What do you think that could be?
Well, the phrase "nothing is new under the sun."
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this technology, if you will,
Yeah.
has existed forever. Especially like when we've talked about like the fallen angels and the eternal wisdom that they brought. I think this is just part of that. I really do, and I feel like it's just a new tool that they're going to use for deception. Because I mean, you're like, there's no boundaries of like what it can do.
Yeah.
You can
Where-
fake a person's voice, likeness, entirely. You know, it's like
There was that old manuscript that talked about like plants and all that stuff, like knowledge. Where do you think that information's like this new information, this level up of technology? Where do you think that's currently coming from?
I've been listening a lot to Dr. Michael Heiser, lately, which he was on Blurry a couple times. We talked about it. It's really cool what he talks about of just like, even going back to like the times of the Tower of Babel. The Septuagint is the basically predecessor to the Bible. That like the Dead Sea Scrolls would be a part of the Septuagint, right? But before we found the Dead Sea Scrolls, like the King James version was all translated from the Greek and all that stuff. And there's like in the Tower of Babel, it talks about when he dispersed the people, he says the sons of Israel, when referring to the Tower of Babel. But this is thousands of years before Israel was even established.
Yeah.
But in the Septuagint, it says the sons of God ruled over the nations. And then the translation of the sons of God is Elohim. So Elohim just means basically eternal being.
Yikes.
So Yahweh Elohim is the one God. Elohim means God-like, right?
Yeah.
So
Lowercase.
it says that these Elohim went to rule over these nations. So it was like these different angels, not fallen yet, went to rule over these certain nations. And it talks about just the fall of man stuff. And when Christ came back, it says that we are now sons of God. So now we, in turn, have become Elohim. Like we will become Elohim. So that's when it says that, like in the end times, that we will be the judges of angels and stuff. So God has reestablished what he intended with Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve were sons of God. Like they were created lesser than angels, but they were also sons of God. So like this whole family, right? And then when Adam and Eve sinned, it created that separation to where now death and sin has encompassed us. And now these principalities can now rule over us. So that's what it says, like Satan is the prince of the air and all that stuff. But with coming under Christ, these entities no longer have hold over us. Like they can't, because now we are sons of God. What I was getting to is this knowledge is I still feel like today in each nation, there is in fact these principalities, these Elohim, if you will, ruling over these nations.
Yeah.
And I feel like the knowledge, they're obviously, it's a downfall, right? So they're fallen now. And so that's why there's false worship, false idols, all that stuff. But I feel like we are getting this knowledge from these entities, fallen angels.
Well, that's scary to think about.
Yeah. But we have the hope, you know? Like it's literally like Christ died for us and made us bridge that gap to where we now have that connection to Christ or to God. And those principalities literally have no more power over us. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It is. It's just scary to think about the effect of it on the people on earth already and to come. Like that's the tough thing about raising kids, man. Like I just, I had a conversation with a guy who never had kids, loved it, like, treated everyone like his kid, but he just chose never have kids. And one of the things he said is like, I can't justify the fact bringing them into such a difficult world. And, it's getting tougher and tougher each day. And so it is tough to think about because I don't know, when you think about, just to change gears, I guess, but like think about that energy of that dark entity or whatever that is. It's like you look through history, the big moments that were really terrible, that really just kind of everyone like, wow, this is a whole new level of evil, and how it just keeps getting worse for each generation. Like we think, oh, it can't get worse than this. But now it's like, now we're dealing with like a AI intelligence type of thing, intelligence isn't the name, but it's just like how you don't know where it's going to take it. You don't know what's going to happen next.
I know. And what is it? Murphy's Law? What did we decide? The fact that it's progressing so quickly, what are we going to say a year from now? Scary.
Yeah, because we weren't even like this. I've mentioned this on the pod before, but it's like 2 years ago we were never even mentioning AI.
I know.
Like it was a movie concept that like in a civilian's life, like they used it in the government, but it's like we weren't doing anything with AI.
Well, think about like right before 2020, like our version of AI was like face filters on Instagram and Snapchat.
Dude.
And we were like, this is crazy.
Like,
how they can do this.
Like I was like, look, I'm an old man now.
And now you can literally type in, have an old man riding a unicycle upside down on the Milky Way.
Yeah.
And like it can create the most realistic image.
Dude, I was trying to generate some like real images, like super realistic, and I got the Pope with a flamethrower in the middle of the Catholic Church. I'm just like going crazy. I'm like,
That
this is
crazy.
Nutso.
We were talking about, we just watched, we'll get into this maybe in the half episode. We just watched American, what was it?
American Nightmare. Don't spoil it because I'm already on only episode 1, but golly.
I cried.
Really?
It was really good.
Guys, everyone check it out. I'm only 1 episode in, and it's a crazy true crime story that I've never heard of. I can't believe I've never heard of it.
Discretion advised. There's a lot of...
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Same thing with The Legends of Fall. Anything we recommend, please just look it up.
It's really heavy.
Use your own discretion.
But it's important. It's important to talk about. And I love, by the way, I don't want to take too far off the segue because I like talking about AI. But I love that Netflix is taking journalism into their own hands at some capacity, because there are so many people with this case where truth had not been righted. And these people were looked at in the most demeaning, awful way, and they were not served justice, even by our law enforcement.
Yeah, don't give it too much away.
Yeah, but it's just like Netflix is taking it in their own hands to tell these stories and give the truth. And I think that's so amazing.
And more than Netflix, it's the people Netflix is paying.
Right.
Yeah.
People who like either have already established a documentary or film, or they're like, hey, we're going to fund you.
Yeah.
I love when people like Netflix is able to like say, hey, cool, we'll fund it. That's super dope. So
yes, these artists and storytellers, it's important work.
Kelsey we were talking about just one more thing on documentaries. It was funny because Kelsey doesn't really watch a lot of documentaries. And so when we were watching it, she was just kind of like confused on how they would have the interviews. And so like at one point there's like, we were watching a documentary and they like the casket or something. And she said, oh my goodness, that's her. And the mom says that. And she's like, how did like, see, it seems fake. Like they're just like script writing it. Like, and it's like, you know, like they're just acting it out, like saying what they said in the moment.
Yeah.
But just the idea of like that's how the interviewers are so good. They're asking questions like, when you first saw it, what's the thing that you said?
Yeah.
Not like, you know, baiting them in any way, but kind of just helping tell the story. And it was just so well put together.
Yeah.
So
amazing.
You guys want to hear something crazy?
please. Sure. Please.
I'm going to say this. Everyone go listen to the most recent, I don't know when this comes out. Go listen
March
to the
2nd.
episode of Blurry Creatures where they talk about the Red Heifer.
Okay. What is the Red Heifer?
Yo, this is wild. This is wild.
That sounds like an insult.
They brought, yeah, it does, right?
Yeah, Red Heifer.
No, but it's it's written within prophecy that for the temple to be rebuilt, you know, the third temple to be rebuilt, that ushers in basically the end times or whatever. Mm-hmm. But before that is supposed to happen, within the Jewish faith, all the tools and stuff that they use within the temple need to be cleansed before the temple is built or before they can go into the temple.
So what do they do is cleanse it.
In order to do that, they sacrifice a red heifer.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay. So since the time of Moses, there's only been 9 red heifers ever sacrificed. And these red heifers, they have to be perfect.
Heifers are cows that haven't given birth, right?
Yes, it's like it's
I thought it was ignore me.
but they have to be flawless in every way. There can't be a single white hair on them. And it's like all these criterias, right? These 2 dudes that were on Blurry were talking about basically the end times and whatnot. They're both from Texas, and the last red heifer to have been sacrificed was 2,000 years ago for the temple.
Okay.
And that was for the second temple, right? So they've been searching, the Jews have been searching for another red heifer for 2,000 years, a perfect red heifer. Mm-hmm. This guy had some connection with a cattle rancher in Texas and got invited by this one dude with these rabbis to go look for red heifer, this farm that like grows or breeds red heifers. And so they went and they found 5
perfect
that matched the description. And he said the process was insane. So like they were like examining it, and then like they left, and then they came back, and then they're Skyping with these other higher ranked rabbis in Israel, and they're going over each detail, like measuring the hooves, like looking at every single detail.
Yeah. And
then like making like markings on them. And so the criteria is the red heifer, like yoke they can never have been yoked. No one could have leaned on them. What? Like all like crazy criteria stuff. That's why it's been 2,000 years.
I see. I've never been a fan of lean ground beef. Anyway, continue.
But they determined, yes, we finally found them after 2,000 years.
So so as soon as they get done sacrificing one 2,000 years ago, they have a team that searches again. So continues to search until so that's when
for the ceremonial. So after the temple was destroyed, the second temple, it was like 70 AD or something that the temple was destroyed.
Well, I don't know.
And what are you doing over there?
Bro, I'll come back to this. I'm still doing research on the previous story, and I'm finding stuff out.
Okay.
It's too good.
Last temple destroyed.
I think it was like 70 AD or something, in the 70s AD.
But not the 1970s?
No.
You can tell by the way. I'm just BG's in the temple.
And I don't.
70 CE.
That's AD.
Oh.
Durr.
Okay.
But yeah, so and you got to go listen to the podcast because they explain it really well. But basically, he's saying that they have from right now, these 5 heifers are in Israel right now, being like protected and guarded. 2 of them, the older they've gotten, are now not qualified, but there's 3 left that are still qualified. But they have 9 months to sacrifice this red heifer in order to, because they can't be like older than 3 years old or something in order to for the ritual or whatever.
Yeah. That's sad.
But he's basically saying like 9 months, if this happens, we're now in the trajectory of this end times prophecy stuff.
I guess I'm still confused on like what spurs they have to do the sacrifice. Like at what time? Is it just as soon as they find one, or is it like at a proper time?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's crazy too is what he said that with each sacrifice of these red heifers, they always mix the ashes of the previous red heifers that have been there. When they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, they also found in there basically a canister, a jar that had the previous 9 red heifers' ashes in it.
Weird.
Dating back to Moses.
What an artifact.
Is there like was there like I guess lettering or writing in with that?
There's like a copper tablet or something that like had like this is what this is.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard about this.
Yeah.
Golly, dude.
So in 9 months or so, if you guys see, it's supposed to happen on the Mount of Olives too.
Can we get tickets?
Dude,
they're ticketing the event.
But I thought it was crazy, man.
Yeah.
And he's just like, if it happens, it's like, we're going.
Dude, we got to go to that Texas ranch.
I know.
Let's get us a red heifer,
I know it's
baby.
a crazy story too. He said these guys that own this ranch, they were going to get into cattle farming and stuff, and they read a long time ago about the red heifer and stuff. And he said before he started the ranch, he's like, how cool would it be if we started just breeding red heifers and one of them became this red heifer?
Way.
So they knew about it. They knew
about it.
Wow.
But like, it's been there for like 20 something years, this ranch. And then finally,
jeez.
Yeah.
It's
just a bunch of Jewish guys show up like, hey, we're ready to buy.
Yeah.
Come on.
What if it had been 7 perfect red heifers?
That'd be crazy.
I know, but 8 is really the number of completion.
No, it's 7.
What are you talking about?
We always talk about this. You always say 8. It's 7.
What do you mean 8? Because it's an infinity sign or what?
I just remember hearing one time that 8 was the number of completion to God.
No, it's 7.
I don't know a lot about the number symbolism in the Bible, but
anyway, speaking of numbers and symbolism and red heifers,
yes,
we got that. Don't go anywhere.
I was trying to see if I would play.
Hello, traveler.
Welcome. We have a journey for you.
This journey will entail right now, if you choose,
what we want you to do. I don't even know what to do. How to do.
Don't they do something like TikTok like those?
It's just
pear. Hey, go to sundaycool.com where we have a new. I'm gonna stop doing that. Where we have a new website. And guess what?
New.
If you go to the Ninjas or Butterflies page, it looks awesome, but you can also see all of our merch on there now.
Yay!
Like this shirt, and this shirt, and this shirt.
What about this
and
shirt?
this shirt, and that shirt, and this shirt.
No, not that one.
Oh, sorry. This shirt. SundayCool.com, go check it out. It's a brand new spanking website, and it looks dope.
I think you're gonna love it, right, Lily?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like she's putting her heart into it, huh?
No.
That was.
Was that a heartfelt dance? I don't think that was a heartfelt
I think we need one more.
Wow.
She just closed her eyes. that's heartfelt.
Very heartfelt. All right, SundayCool.com, go now.
Now. You need to get working on my list because I'm going to be starting knocking those out on my movie list.
I did add some.
I know. I'm going to be going through them, though. So just like whenever you think of a movie,
okay,
add it to it. Add it to it.
This doesn't count as social media, right?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Movies that Andy doesn't watch. I'll go in a car. Okay, so you did Legends of Fall. You've done Braveheart.
Done Braveheart.
Have you done Phantom of the Opera yet?
No. That one's going to be a tough one.
Why?
Because I'm not a musical guy.
Oh, come on.
I guess I am, but it just seems. I don't know. I like going blind in movies, and I hated that. I know it's literally my fault, but I hated knowing that there was like a bear scene or something in Legends of Fall.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, so he's dying with a bear at the end. I guarantee it. And so I went in knowing that, but going in completely blind to that movie was really fun.
Yeah.
Like not knowing anything about it.
Phantom of the Opera has really important historical relevance to Sunday Cool.
Really?
Yeah, because when Josh and Angel would print outside, on Fridays they would sing the whole soundtrack together.
That's part of Sunday Cool lore, huh?
Yeah.
Angel likes it too?
Oh,
Angel
yeah.
That's
always-
amazing. I would have never.
He'd always sing the high part.
He's Christine.
Yeah.
Angel's Christine,
Dude,
and
I
you're
love
the
Phantom of the
Phantom.
Opera, pa. It's like he's just this tough boxer kid that just like literally will kill you with his fist. But he's like, yeah, dude, I love musicals.
Oh, man. Wasn't that fun?
I had a great time.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about it?
I liked when Lily did that really funny looking dance.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
it was
Yeah.
kind of funny. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny. She put her whole heart into it.
I know.
And I know the fans appreciated it.
Yeah. But anyways, you know what time it is.
Question corner with Lily, where the questions are fresh on her mind. Baby.
My question feels like too light for what is so far a heavy podcast.
That's all right.
Okay, we're doing another fight to the death question.
All right.
These major cereal brands are duking it out for the title of Best Children's Cereal.
Already a solid question.
It's hand-to-hand combat, fight to the death amongst the mascots for the title. Who is winning? Tony the Tiger, Lucky the Leprechaun, the Bunny from Tricks, or Count Chocula? Or Captain Crunch?
Ooh.
Okay, same. Okay, so we have Tony the Tiger. We have Lucky the Leprechaun. We got, who else?
The Bunny from Tricks,
Tricks,
Count Chocula,
Count Chocula,
and
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
what about him?
Hey, what's the setting? Where
Oh,
are
I
we?
thought you picked him.
No.
Where are we at?
Yeah, what is
Where's
I
this
hadn't
fight at?
thought about it, but
Coliseum?
when I picture it's a Coliseum, yeah.
Who's in the crowd, first of all? I need to know that. That's going to help a lot with the home, like, is it home team?
I think like all major illustrated cartoons, like Cartoon
Breakfast
Network,
cereals? Oh, cartoons.
Nickelodeon.
Got it.
I'm going with Leprechaun
Why?
Because he's magical.
because he's magical and no one can ever catch him.
That's what I was trying to remember,
True.
if he ever got caught.
He's always riding the rainbow.
Yeah, true that.
It's like, whoa.
Isn't, like, the bunny from Tricks, isn't, like, it his thing that he always gets caught?
Yeah,
Like, by the kids?
He's out.
Like,
from
a
the
bunch of, like,
get-go.
elementary schoolers
Yeah.
end up just wrangling him with, like, a little, like a flower or something like that. He's like, oh, I'll get you next time. Like, that's, so obviously not the bunny,
Okay,
right?
no, but I was gonna pick the bunny.
That's what I'm just saying. I've always thought he was the one that could never get caught, but I think he's always the cocky one and then just gets beat up at the end.
I think they're like, you'll never get our tricks, and he's always
Tricks
like,
are for, still, because it's like silly
Yeah,
rabbit, tricks are for kids. So he's always like, they always win.
Yeah, they always
Oh,
catch
no.
him.
Okay, but the thing for me is that I think it came from Dora the Explorer. When Swiper would come into the scene, cardiac arrest. I'm like, look out! He's right behind you!
Did you watch Dora as a kid?
No.
No.
Oh man,
Interesting.
my age is showing.
Why?
Nice age gap.
Oh,
I was
did none of you watch Dora?
No,
That's what made me think.
I was like thinking as an adult, like
I babysat
seeing
kids that
people-
watch Dora, dude.
I was an infant.
She was joking. She's never seen it.
Swiper, no swiping.
Oh my gosh, he would come in and he'd like sneak a few paces. Look out! He's right behind you. And I feel like Trix has that same.
No, the Tricks
vibe.
bunny's just like,
Yeah,
And he's a little scary.
it is a little scary.
Okay,
I'm
so
going with the
bunny,
Cap.
bunny's out. Cap,
Captain.
we're
So-
on land, baby.
Dude.
You're off footing. He's dead.
Captain commands a team. It's
He's probably good with a
implied
sword.
Dude,
authority.
I'm going Tony the Tiger.
I was gonna say he's strong. He hits things with a baseball bat.
and also,
See, but he's
Tony,
always-
he's on kids,
No.
every kid's side.
But-
every kid
but
loves
that's-
Tony the
that's the
Tiger. He has
problem.
something to fight for, man.
He's a kids coach.
No,
Alpha athlete
He's a
never
tiger.
ends up coaching city
He's
league.
a tiger. He's gonna rip everyone apart.
The alpha athlete never coaches city league. They've made it. Tony the Tiger didn't make it, so now he's coaching little league.
Chocula has a chance.
Yeah, I mean he's got venomous
He turns into a bat,
fangs.
a chocolatey bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to drink your milk.
Can't catch me, Tiger Man.
I also thought about adding in like the Wheaties, but they would always interchange them.
What about the
What are we missing?
the rice, the
Schmacks.
No.
Pops.
Fruity Pebbles?
No.
With the Flintstones?
Rice Krispies.
Yeah, the Rice Krispie
When
little
you
elf
said
things.
rice, I went through every other cereal made of rice before using the one that has it in its name.
And the ones you're naming, I'm going homeschool.
Wait.
I've never
Which
heard
one?
of those cereals in my life. I can't even repeat them. They're so unfamiliar to me.
Schmacks?
Huggos.
Smacks? You guys don't know what smacks are?
No.
It was like a
Yeah,
popular.
yeah,
like,
it's the yellow.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the corn puff
Yeah,
thing.
corn
yeah,
puffs.
yeah.
And there's corn pops. That's not a homeschool thing. That was huge in the like early 2000s.
Lily just calls anything that she doesn't know homeschool.
Or anything that I like.
yeah.
Do you remember honeycombs?
Yeah, dude.
I dug honeycombs for a while.
I've never eaten one.
Apple Jacks?
Oh, yeah.
Never a fan of Apple Jacks. They tasted spicy for some reason. It was just like, why cereal shouldn't be this hard?
Oh.
Yeah, ow. Apple Jacks, no. You see, they changed his mascot because he was way too Jamaican, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's completely different.
The cinnamon stick?
Yeah, he lost his accent.
Why? Why can't he just be Jamaican?
I don't know. Same thing with the crab,
He's
I
a
guess.
cinnamon stick.
Come on, he's a cinnamon stick, for goodness sakes.
Let him be what he wants.
And he snowboards.
Come on.
It's cool.
I am grieved that our children will never experience Saturday morning cartoon commercials.
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk kid commercials for a second.
Yeah.
What were some of the best ones? What are the ones that you really wanted? Remember those metallic frisbees, inflatable frisbee things?
Yeah. I got one
Dude,
of those. Or
I
had one of
remember
those.
the Razor scooter coming out. And that, like...
Game
Oh my
changer.
gosh. What, were you out when the telephone came out?
I was.
Oh.
I wanted one for Christmas so bad. Lily, stop talking about this age thing.
Razor scooter?
Listen, Dora.
Dude, Razor scooters were dope.
Yeah, remember they cost like $300 too when they first came out.
I
That's
built
crazy.
one. Kids in my neighborhood got them, and I was too broke, so I literally went out there with handsaws and like hacked up a skateboard and made like a broomstick scooter.
That's funny.
You're not helping the homeschool thing out at all.
My parents felt so bad for me that they helped me get one. They were like, "Okay, we need to."
That's so
figure
funny.
that out.
I had the commercial with the shark goggles.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, and the webbed
Yeah,
gloves.
with
Yeah.
Lit, I was like, dude, I could act like a shark when I go to the swimming pool. People will be so afraid.
I want that.
Or even just like the Super Soaker and like Nerf gun commercials from back then.
Yeah.
I liked the Campbell's sweepstakes. I thought I could win a trip to the Campbell's mansion.
I don't know what that
You
is.
sound like I'm so confused. At one
Nothing's
minute you sound like a toddler. Now you sound like an old lady.
You know how they would like you.
I love the Campbell commercials. We
One
can
day-
win a sweepstakes.
One day I'll visit the Campbell's mansion. One day.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
That's true luxury right there.
Hey, give us a song there, Ace. Chica. Dora.
Chill. Chill.
Can you say song?
Can we edit Swiper coming into there? That would be funny to have like an Easter egg where throughout the show we have to put one thing in the show every single episode, but it's only in there for like one frame, and people have to like timestamp it or something, and we'll send them a gift or something.
All right.
Lady Gaga.
Andrew has a real.
I don't know. I lost it. I'm not musical today.
I don't know.
Do the,
I'm off my rhythm.
Bad Romance.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you do.
Can you give me? I don't know
No.
song names.
I'm not saying
Bad Romance. Golly, I love that song too. I can't even think of it right now. I think something is in my head musically today. I apologize. I can't.
No, same.
She has Just Dance. She has I Was Born This Way. She has
What's the one with the movie that came out?
Star is Born.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andrew has.
No. All right, go for it.
This is
I
bad,
already said
bro.
it.
What in the world?
Lily, I'll turn it to you. Have you guys heard of a crocodile shark?
No.
I will
Excuse me?
admit this is homeschooled. I grew up with like shark books and was just completely obsessed with sharks. In all my years of elementary research, never ran into this thing, and it's the freakiest shark I've ever seen in my life. You ready?
Yeah.
3,
2,
2,
1, go.
Whoa.
It's little.
Read that thing.
The sizable arched jaws of the crocodile shark can be protruded beyond the tip of the snout and contain large teeth shaped like spikes in front of knives on the side of its. Oh,
That's literally Alien.
yeah. So it comes out of its actual face. Dude, what in the world?
That's alien.
Dude, that is alien.
That is the creepiest.
That can't be real.
Creepiest looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna get Sigourney Weaver.
What's the point of that?
What is the point?
Just
of that?
to get to deeper spots, maybe,
or does it get bigger? Like it can open its jaw bigger. Or
oh
something?
yeah, probably because it isn't hinged back. Maybe the head,
or it's just a minimal movement lunge.
Ew.
How big do they get? Do we know?
No idea.
20 feet long.
Shut up, no.
I want to. Thinking of mutated animals. I just sent a text. Check out this video. It looks fake, but it's real. Maybe it's not fake. I mean, maybe it is fake. I don't know, but it looks like they're snapping.
I've seen this before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
For those of you who not seeing it, it's
I feel like that is
catfish
fake.
that has crap.
It's fake.
It's like probably poked in the gills, right?
I looked this thing up before.
I did. I literally just now realized I'm like, okay, this may be fake.
I was gonna say the Nephilim are coming out. They're not having any more original ideas.
Yeah.
Just put claws on the fish.
Speaking of Nephilim.
Speaking of Nephilim.
Genesis. So I read Genesis 11 is Tower of Babel. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for that section where it uses Elohim.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it. So at first I dismissed it. But then if you go back pre-Noah, Genesis 6.
Which is the fall or the fallen angels.
Right. It definitively, so it distinguishes between sons of God and man. It says man began to multiply on the face of the land and daughters were born to them. And then the next thing it says, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive and took wives as they chose. So there's a definitive distinction between Elohim.
Yeah.
And so I want to find that passage you were using because definitely.
I'll send you the documentary that I watched about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the longest time when it said the sons of God, it says the people were interpreting that as the sons of Cain. Or no, the sons of God would be Adam, and then the sons or the daughters of men would be the daughters of Cain, which that was their own interpretation because they just didn't want anything to do with like fallen angels and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was reading something about because it goes into the lineage of Seth, and they were calling him basically that. But it's interesting. It's definitive right after he says, and then that's when he limited the age of man because of this corruption or perversion, and that's what grieved his heart pre-flood.
Yeah.
So it's not even like a theory.
No, it's not.
It's kind of like,
and that's what Dr. Michael Heiser, he wrote a book called The Unseen Realm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he says at the beginning, he's like, once you read this, your perspective on scripture is going to change a lot.
Wow.
Because of just the vocabulary that we have set in motion through tradition that is not correct.
Yep.
And he's like,
habits that we've
and he explains
up.
like all the writers of the New Testament stuff, they already knew this knowledge of this unseen realm. But we now have like limited it and like put it in a box. And he's like, basically, I'm opening the box and I'm going to show you the real traditional way of how they viewed the unseen realm.
Yeah, to be able to have their perspective, golly, man.
Yeah.
Like, how much would that change your just life and just to have it for a day?
Yeah.
Like, how differently would we live our lives if we could have that perspective? Or, I don't know.
And
maybe it's possible.
No,
we just have to ask. Obviously, we just need
I'm starting to go through that now. Just like reading scripture in the light of like, it's not solely man-based. It can't be because it's like God is the eternal God, you know? And it's like everything, if it's God breathed, you know, God inspired, that's the realm or the context of which it's written is this grand scheme of things, you know?
Yeah. And like if you start to believe these things, you start to talk about these things, there are people in the quote unquote traditional church who are going to start to act like you're crazy. But if you like actually look at what traditional Christian values hold to, like we're indwelt by a living God, like these spiritual ideas, we accept them spoken, but the deeper understanding what that means.
That's what he explains too. He's like the American church, they're so quick to believe these things that are so supernatural. Like the fact that Christ came to earth as a man, he died and was risen, and now we have the Spirit of God living in us. He's like, you can believe in that, but you can't believe in all these other things that Scripture talks about. It's his
omnipresence and omnipotence indwell us, but we can't accept that there are powerful creatures at some point in history.
I'm so much more interested in like finding out the joys that are behind those mysteries instead of feeding into like today's culture and like just being obsessed with who's thinking what and who's doing what. It's like, it's such a, I think we just would find so much more life if everyone just chose to do that.
Well, I think you live your life differently. It's like the book, This Present Darkness and Piercing the Darkness and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about the spiritual warfare that's happening in everyday life that we cannot see. And like, if you start reading scripture in light of like, we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and whatever. What is it? Principalities,
spooky things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you start viewing the world differently of like the darkness. It's not just humans. It's like there is an entity, a force that is ushering in this darkness that is opposed to who God is.
Yeah.
You know, it's a literal battle.
Yeah.
And I'm always speaking about how like these things aren't supposed to lead to fear. Like when you look at people, like people who have harmed you, people who are like, you know, just not existing in what we would call a positive state. When you look at them as someone who's afflicted by some sort of dark, I'm not calling them possessed, but like, you know, just the
world getting to them.
Yeah. Then there's an empathy as you deal with people who are considered harmful. And then New Testament passages where it's like, pray for your enemies. It's like, oh, they're going through things. They don't have the Spirit of God in them that I've been protected from.
And that's so cool too. It was like, pray for enemies. It's like, now that we have been made sons of God, now that we have the Spirit in us so that we're protected, it's like we no longer are just humans battling each other. It's like we now have the Spirit of God, so it's like pray for enemies. We have the Spirit of God to pray for enemies and like pray for those who persecute us. You know, it's like that's pretty special, you know?
I can't remember where I read this. It's a really good verse, but it says like with great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle Ben!
I think it's Uncle Ben 2.
Yeah, Uncle Ben. Yeah.
2, 3.
Benny and Thins.
Yeah.
But really the idea of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, isn't it? What is D.D. Kimbrough's famous line? To much is given, much is expected. I think it's in scripture.
That's a quote from Huck Finn.
We just fact checked it real quick.
Speaking of Huck Finn, I got a crazy story.
Please tell us that crazy story.
Have you guys ever heard of Mels Hole?
Mel's Hole.
Mel's Hole.
No.
This is the wildest thing I've heard in a while.
Okay.
Okay. Go.
That's high standards.
I heard it from, it's a well-known story in the sect of conspiracy theories.
Do you want me to look anything up for it?
No.
Okay.
Because there's no pictures and stuff of it.
Oh, snap. Glad I asked.
Mel's Hole, I listened to a podcast, Conspiracy Theories. They do a great job explaining it. It's like a 37-minute podcast. Hey, so go listen to that.
That's awesome of you to shout out another podcast when you're using their content.
Yep.
It's not that hard, is it?
Yeah. But they do a great job explaining it. I'm just going to give you what I got from it.
Cool.
So I'm ready. I took bullet points from their podcast. So
what's the name of the
Conspiracy Theories.
Perfect.
It's a Spotify podcast.
Go subscribe.
Yeah. Mel's Hole. All right.
Here we go.
So this dude named Mel, I think it was Mel Waters is his name. He bought this land in like central Washington in the 90s. And he had been living there for 4 years at the time. And then a huge piece of land, like 30-something acres of land.
Okay.
And he discovered there's a hole on his property. And like he went up to a neighbor that had like a ranch by him or something. He's like, what's up with this hole, man? It's like, I can't see the bottom of it. The guy's like, oh yeah, neighbors like since forever have just been throwing trash down it. And like we even throw like our dead cows down it and stuff.
How big is this hole? Okay. Okay.
And he's like, oh, weird. And he's like, well, if you guys have been throwing this down like for a long time, he's like, you would think you'd see some trash start to pile up in it. And so this dude, he liked to fish. And so he had like a big rig set up for like shark fishing. Mm-hmm. And he had a spool of fishing line on it that reached 1,500 yards, right? He tied something heavy to it and let it down, didn't hit the bottom.
The reel's just running.
Yeah.
Wait, what is 1,500 yards in feet? 1,500 times 3, 7,500?
Yeah.
That's like 12 yards.
A yard is 3 feet.
45.
15 times 3.
15 times 3.
Beautiful.
It is 4,500.
Yeah, it's 45.
Beautiful minding it in your head right now.
And he's like, this is wild. He's like, I got to find the bottom of this. So he bought more and more spools of fishing line. Each spool was 5,000 yards long. It equated to the amount that he bought was 80,000 feet long.
What?
Never touched the bottom.
Central Washington?
Way.
Yes, and he described this hole. It was basically a 9 foot 9 inches diameter. Never saw the bottom. He would throw like high beam flashlights down into it. He would throw like these like the old TV tubes that like if they explode they're really loud.
Yeah.
He'd throw those down. Nothing ever hit the bottom. Which brings me to 1997. The
My
show.
birth year.
Hey, look at that.
What?
1997. She was born in 97.
Got it.
The broadcast or the radio station Coast to Coast, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
The host was Art Bell. He got a call one day and it was Mel. And Mel told him the whole story about this hole and stuff. And then like that just sparked like all these people were calling and like, well, have you tried this, that, all this weird stuff. Someone called in and is like, if this is 80,000 feet deep, the Mariana Trench, which we know is like one of the deepest hole or whatever on deepest
points in the ocean, right?
Yeah. Which the Mariana Trench is 35,876 feet deep.
35,000?
35,000.
Only 35,000?
Yeah. But the biggest hole ever dug was in the Arctic Circle by Russia, and they got down to 40,000 feet. But they had to stop because they was so far down that the heat down there started melting like all the instruments. And like they said, rocks became like pliable, like they're like plasticky.
Shut up.
So they couldn't go past that, so they just gave up on the project. Mel's claiming this hole is twice as deep as this, right?
Incredible.
But he was telling the story of this hole. He's like, there's a lot of weird stuff about this hole. Dogs are afraid of this hole. Animals are afraid of this hole. And he said, in fact, one of my neighbors once told me that his dog died and he threw the dog down the hole. And then he said the next morning that dog was on his porch.
What?
Like
alive. Alive. And so Mel made the joke. He said, when I die, throw me down that hole.
Yeah, because I'll live.
Yeah. Weird stuff.
Bro.
So
I'm just imagining this is just a portal to like somewhere in Tennessee and it's like just some dude's yard. Like, what is happening? Why are all this trash over here?
And Mel's like, why'd you throw your dog in my hole?
yeah, it's weird. But his wife, Mel's wife, worked for a university, like local university and stuff. And Mel went to some of the professors there that did geology and stuff. And he's like, can you come out and look at this hole? And they're all like, nah, like you're being weird and stuff. I'd just be like, yeah, I'll come look at it.
Yeah.
Everyone refused to come look at it.
We'll do a podcast in that hole.
But after that, he went on Coast to Coast. Like a couple months or a year went by. Mel called back into Coast to Coast with an update on the hole. And he said, after that broadcast where I was on your show, he said, I was coming home one day and the access road to the hole was blocked off by, he said, military personnel. And he said, I need to go down this road. And they said, you can't. There was a plane crash.
Yeah, okay.
And we got to block it off. We got to investigate what happened.
What the what?
And he was like, starting to be like, let me down my own road. This is my private property. Mel grew medicinal plants in his home.
Come on, Mel.
And they said, if you don't drop this, we'll throw you in prison for your plants.
Shut up.
And so he dropped it, right?
Yeah.
But keeps going on, right? But there's also this weird story where the neighbor, he talked to another neighbor about this hole, and the neighbor's like, yeah, there used to be these stone pillars erected around this hole, like way before you ever moved onto this property. He said it looked a lot like Stonehenge.
Or like Outlander.
Like or Stonehenge.
Or like Brave.
Like Stonehenge. And he said that neighbors had reported seeing from this hole this black beam shoot from this hole. Like every now and then. It's just this, they said it was darker than dark. This beam just go right? So a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until after the thing where the government started showing up. But after the government showed up and blocked off the road, whatever, it was hard for him to get access back to it. But then they left, whatever. Realtor called Mel and was like, hey, we want to purchase, or someone wants to purchase your land.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
Life goes on, blah, blah, blah. And him and his wife got divorced.
Oh.
His wife
Whose fault was it?
I don't know. Probably Mel.
Yeah, she's like,
There's
dude,
something in this hole. He's
you're
got
obsessed with this hole.
shut up. You don't understand.
Yeah, so not long story short, we're in the middle of the story. So that was the end of the phone call, right? After he was afraid for his own life.
Yeah.
And Art said, like, maybe you should talk more about this to expose it so you're like a little protected.
Blow
because more
the
people
roof
know
off,
about
dude.
it. He calls back to Coast 3 years later with a new update on this hole. So what happened was him and his wife got divorced. His wife her name was on the property name, right? But the divorce settlement, she leased the land back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mel got an offer from the U.S. government to lease his land for $250,000 a month. What? And so he's like, I'll take that. And so what he did was he ended up moving to Australia. And with this money, this is so random, he opened up a wombat rescue mission.
What? Why is that a passion?
I don't know. He just had a passion for rescuing wombats, apparently.
Mel's Wombats. You've never heard of it?
So he's living there for 3 years, from 97 to 99. 1999.
Yeah.
And one day he got a call that his lease is being canceled. So he no longer owns the property because the tenants who are leasing it from him like paved a new road and like buried a septic tank without getting permitting. So he lost the lease.
How is that possible?
Listen, it gets weird.
Government, baby.
As soon as he got that call, his $250,000 a month stopped coming in. Also, he checked his bank account. Nothing.
They drained him?
Wiped clean. And so he was able
Why'd you leave,
he was
dude?
able to scrounge up enough money to go back to the
And
States.
sue the smack out of the government?
This is where it gets wild. He's in a bus heading to Olympia, Washington, right? And he said there was some sort of dispute that was happening to where the cops had to come. And so he was giving his statement. So this is on the call of Coast to Coast. This is the update. So I was giving a statement, and he said, the next thing I remember is waking up in an alleyway in San Francisco 12 days later, no wallet, no ID. And he said there's tape marks on my arm like someone had put an IV in me. And he said, and my molars were missing.
What? What about his other organs?
What a nightmare.
And so he was just going through this whole thing. He was like, am I going crazy? And he's like telling the story, and Art Bell is kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like you're just making stuff up now. And he says, no, in fact, this was a predecessor to Google Earth. It was like Windows something, but it was basically satellite images of the Earth. He says, go look at my land on the satellite imagery. It's blocked out, white blocks over where his property are. And Art Bell, sure enough, went. He said, it is blocked out. You cannot see what is right there.
Is that legit? Do we have the address? Can we confirm that like on Google Earth?
I don't know.
We need to look it up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've got stuff to contribute when you finish the narrative that you've written.
Okay. Well, so basically that was the end of that, right?
Yeah.
He had buddies apparently in Nevada that also sold these medicinal plants that invited him out because it's like, we have a hole down here that you need to come check out.
Okay.
Okay, hold on though.
So they're listening to Coast, they're listeners, and they reached out to Mel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they're like friends of Mel
Okay.
or
Or they
something.
were friends of Mel who also have a hole and are also
Listen, I'm just telling the story, Lil.
ingesting
I'm sure
medicinal
Listen to the
plants.
rest of the story before you start picking it apart.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, my buddy I've had forever, I've got a hole too. Go ahead.
Get her, Josh. Get her, Josh.
Would you just let me tell the
To mention
story?
this hole that I also have.
Lily! Zip it! He goes down there to Nevada.
Got it.
This hole's different. They had it caged off in it had been observed by other people before.
Mm-hmm.
They said this hole is very similar to your hole. No one knows what's in it. Like, we can't seem to find the bottom.
Yeah.
And they did some weird experiment to where they had 2 buckets of ice. They left one up on like by the hole, and then they lowered the other bucket of ice down the hole, 1,500 feet, brought it back up. The bucket of ice on land had melted. This ice was still fully in contact, and they said like they tried to melt it, and
it just came back as a swan.
When they put fire to it, it combusted.
What?
And like, this is weird.
It's like methane?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But then they did a really weird experiment to where they got a sheep,
a
live sheep, and they put it in a crate and lowered it down. And Mel said that he was super uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Bring it back up. The sheep is dead.
Right.
And they decided to dissect it, the sheep, to see why it died and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
drowning.
No, it wasn't wet or anything, Lil.
Oh, I thought it was a hole with water in it.
What? Where'd you get that?
His last name is Waters, but no, there's no water.
It's an empty hole?
Yes.
They don't know what's in it.
They don't know what's in it. That's why they're trying to figure out what's in it.
The whole time, the hole's been empty.
I said drowning, obviously.
No, did not drown. Anyways, they dissected this sheep.
Wait, it was fishing. As soon as you said fishing pole, she was like, he's going fishing in water.
Maybe. Anyways, they dissected the sheep, and where some of its organs were was now this tumor.
Oh, no.
But this tumor, they said, was moving.
Dude, what?
And so they cut open the tumor.
Why
and
did you do that?
They said what came out of it, he said he can only describe it as it looked like a fetal seal that came out of this thing.
Ew.
And
Ew.
He said, I don't know why, but when I looked at this thing, I felt like I had to throw it back into the hole. And so we threw this fetal seal thing that came out of the sheep back into the hole.
You gotta keep
it. Could have been pregnant. The sheep might have been pregnant.
With a seal.
With a seal, yeah, inside of a tumor.
We don't know what a fetal sheep looks like.
Anyways, he also said that prior to him visiting this hole, a year earlier, he was diagnosed with esophageal cancer.
Mm.
He said after this incident, he was cancer-free. Weird stuff, right? So that was the last time he was ever on Coast to Coast. Never called in again. And to this day, if you look up anything regarding his name, Mel Waters, his wife, where he lived in this area, you cannot find anything. And so people have like contacted the army, the sheriff, and they're like, no, we don't know who that guy is.
What?
And so it's like,
did he die?
Well, we don't know. We don't know if he was, or if the story was even real.
Maybe he just jumped in the hole.
But if this was a fake story,
yeah,
he prolonged this fake story for 3 years.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
But like he had nothing. Like he said, I don't want any publicity. Like I don't want to be on the news. I don't like because he's like afraid for his life and all that stuff. He talked to Art Bell offline or off air, and was basically saying to Art, he's like, dude, I'm scared for my life. He's like, helicopters are flying over my property. This was like prior to him moving to Australia. And he's like, I feel like I'm being watched. But now we don't know. And no one's ever been able to find Mel's hole.
And if he's gone, who's taking care of the wombats?
Save the wombats.
Let's focus on the real issue.
All right. What did you have to say?
Yeah, that's scary.
So there's a hole going, who knows how deep, through the center of the earth from Mel's hole, right? So I looked up where that is in Washington, found it. What would you imagine would be on the other side of the globe? Because there is a website where you can put in a point and look at the exact opposite.
A mountain.
So Washington?
I'm not asking for the location, but just like if there's like a hole going through, what would be on the other side?
Oh, that's true.
Mount Herman.
She said a mountain. You're saying a mountain too?
A pyramid.
You know?
Yeah, that's literally. So it's this spot in the Indian Ocean that France owns called Crozet. It's an island structure. It is a top of a plume rising in the middle of the ocean, just on its own between tectonic plates. It's shifted up and become a small island inhabited primarily by seals.
What?
Literally, the only structure that exists on this island is a scientific outpost built by France.
A French seal got that sheep pregnant.
Well, that
Oui, want some lamb? Dude, that is hilarious.
This is what an upper mantle plume looks like.
yo.
That is so weird.
Although the seal was in Nevada, he said, not in Washington.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
But
true.
regardless, that is a weird connection.
There's a hole going on one side, and on the other side there's a same hole, only the hole is filled with magma, and it's pluming magma up to where in the middle of the Indian Ocean there's just this little island.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's Mel's hole.
That was wild.
Perturbed by this story.
Also, Fetal Seal is my band name now.
Fetal Seal. Welcome to the stage, Fetal Seal.
Yeah.
Also, have we
That's what
ever
the fans do?
going like to the hollow earth theory? Have we ever talked about like where the water for the flood came from?
Yeah, so the heavens were opened up and the earth
there's a word for it. Fountains of the great deep is basically how it translates. So if there was enough water that came out of the earth and the firmament that surrounded it, would stand to reason that there are large hollow spaces in the middle or underneath the surface. And it's referenced fountains of the great deep, Genesis 7, Genesis 8, Proverbs 8. The great deep is used in Isaiah.
Well, they found recently, like in the past like 15, 20 years, that the ocean, there's an ocean underneath the ocean. Like there's the layer of crust and then there's an ocean underneath it.
Which will probably never be explored, right?
So
No.
Golly, man.
the guy threw his dog in an empty hole. When you had told that part of the story, I still thought it was filled with water.
So you thought it was
There's
like a
never
healing
water in
or
it.
something?
There's never water in it.
Chill.
I said they can never find the bottom.
And the dog just beamed back out.
I don't know, Lil. He just said the dog was alive on his porch the next day.
You're sounding like everyone he's probably ever talked to. They're like,
Poor
really?
Mel.
Really?
I think he had too many PBRs the night before or something. This guy.
I think the real hole was the one in his heart after the divorce.
Aww.
Oh.
And he can never fill it. He
He
can
can
never
never
find the bottom.
Oh,
He's just a
man.
great storyteller.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about his divorce.
It was all just poetry.
It's all a novel. It's actually just this is just a plot. Everyone's gonna be like, this is literally the plot of this movie. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a crazy story. I'm excited. We'll have to figure out, like, we'll have to go on. I'll just go for the next day at work. I'm just going to scroll Washington's map and just find some white dots.
Yeah. A lot of people have like gone out looking for it and
Really?
they have had zero success.
It's very interesting. I mean, like, that's something that, I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely possible. We just never have seen it just because I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, try to find a 9-foot hole in the whole state of Washington.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
But then they have those, but like, it just keeps reminding me that show on Amazon Prime called Outrange or something like that. But it's Josh Brolin and he's a cowboy and they're no joke in the middle of the field and he gets called up and it's literally this huge black hole. It's just in the middle of the ground. And it's like, I haven't watched it yet. Outer Range is what it's called. But that's the whole premise is they find this hole that's completely just super deep and they have no idea what's in it. So
That's wild.
I'll have to watch it.
Spooky, spooky, spooky.
I have one more
Subliminal
spooky thing.
messages.
One more spooky thing.
One more spooky thing.
This guy on TikTok, his TikTok is called the number 2 swag.
Okay.
2 swag.
2 swag.
But he goes like and explores like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. And one I saw it was really weird. It was apparently in Gary, Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And there was a whole entire neighborhood that was just abandoned. And like every house was abandoned. There was a playground, like a huge neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there was a fence along this neighborhood. He decided to climb this fence. And he said on the other side of this fence was the exact same layout of the neighborhood on the other side of the fence, except it was more decayed than this side of the fence. So it was like a mirror image of the neighborhood. But on this side of the fence, it was like
Just older, ran
Like
down.
a wasteland.
like 20 plus years older than this side.
So that one was built first and for some reason abandoned.
Yeah.
And then another one exactly like it. Kind of like one of those atomic bomb test
Yeah.
cities. Weird.
I
But
saw
it-
that same video. They said it looked like Silent Hill. I've never played that video game, but
Oh, yeah.
What's the reason for that, man?
I don't know, but it's so weird that there are multiple towns in the U.S. that are just completely abandoned. And it's like, that's so spooky.
It is. The state with Gary, Indiana, my understanding is that a lot of the neighboring like cities and stuff like that, they just invested more in like,
Oh, so
I
it's
think
like a ghost
specifically
town?
like steel. Yeah. And so like jobs, nobody could get jobs in Gary, Indiana anymore. So they just started fleeing, and then like, of course, it becomes ghettoized and stuff like that. My understanding is that like, it's like 3/4 of the population left.
Wow.
Like abandoned, like literally abandoned their homes because nobody would
Kind
buy
of like
them.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, nobody
That's
would buy
so
them. So you
sad.
just have to like cut your losses and go. But
That's
still
terrible.
people are living there. Yeah. Some people are.
That's like China, dude. China has like all those like literally full cities of buildings, apartment
Yeah.
buildings that no one has ever lived in. Because they're just, it's this whole economic boom and like.
There was some statistic where they poured more concrete in like 1 year than America did in like 50 years.
Wow.
Like because they're
insane.
just building cities like nutso. There's a when you're driving into Branson, Missouri, there's this valley in these Ozark Hills, and there's just it's a row of mansions, all abandoned.
Ew.
Literally never lived in, just wide open
Where's this?
mansions right outside of Branson, Missouri. It's like eerie sight, especially when they're like there's the fog in the lower valley, and they're really pretty houses, but it's just all grown up. It's weeds and trees all around them,
That's
and
so weird.
scary,
It's because
dude.
I'd rather live in a cardboard box in Florida than a mansion in Branson, Missouri.
Jeez. Shout out to all of our Branson, Missouri fans.
I just remember when we went there
Branson's
and I was
great.
just like,
You went there in January.
the
Of course you
vibe.
did.
Like nobody was doing anything. There were people anywhere.
It's literally the Las Vegas of the Midwest, and you went there during their off season. That's why. It's a terrible Missouri in the wintertime is terrible.
Speaking of China,
Don't say it. Please don't say it.
FBI.
Oh, got it.
How the FBI is like constantly warning us that there is an imminent cyber attack that is
Yeah, I
about to
keep
happen
hearing
from-
about it. What's going on with that?
Don't know.
It's like, so you're just telling us like there's a threat?
I just want to bring it up.
Tell me when there's news. Like, no, I'm not talking about you, but like the news people. It's like, tell us when there's
no.
actually,
Well, no, but
do whatever you can.
what's also freaky?
We can't do nothing.
Here's, if you're not anxious now, you're about to be.
Buckle up.
It was last week. I was on TikTok right before bed, and it was like all over the news. Like, someone from Congress said that there is a imminent threat that or threatens national security that is classified, and they're trying to get President Biden to declassify it. Oh, it seemed like a little political, whatever, hodgepodge.
Yeah.
Anyways, they declassified it. And what came out was last week, Russia launched a rocket into space, and this satellite thing that they put into space, or this craft, has nuclear capabilities on it.
Cool.
And they're like, oh, they'll take out our satellites and stuff. But they're like, no, actually,
They'll shoot us.
they'll.
Can they drop things from space like that?
Yeah, sure, they can.
Oh my goodness.
But they're saying that they would use it for an EMP attack on America.
Oh.
EMP, that's the
Electromagnetic pulse.
Very
That
good.
would wipe
Where
out.
90% of everyone will die.
No, that's for
Nice,
real.
nice.
The CIA.
I'm just trying to laugh through it.
It was the previous former CIA director or something said that if we lost power, if we had an EMP attack,
Yeah.
he said in 1 year, sorry everyone, anxious. I know. I've been anxious about this. 90% of Americans would die. Because he's like, because you're like, no, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
And he's like, think about everything.
Everything.
Think about, you can no longer go to the grocery store to get food.
Yeah.
If you
Your
do, you might
water-
get pirated or knifed or something.
Yeah, all like your tap water and stuff will be turned off because that's controlled by whatever electrical system that the city's using. It's like,
It would be chaos, dude.
so I'm not telling you to dig a bunker, but like I'm doing just like
Little things.
little things because it's like you never know, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not like hoarding stuff, but I'm doing like stuff like I'm getting books on like sustainable,
Homesteading.
homesteading, like planning, water collecting. I'm not like freaking out because it's like it's stupid to be like all like anxious, like we're gonna die.
We also live in like a really good place
Right.
for that
Yeah.
sort of stuff to happen.
I mean, there's a difference between, like doing that. We're just being prepared. Like you're just being
Yeah.
prepared for certain things. And just because you want to be able to take care of your family if national emergencies do exist, because that's why they're
Yeah.
called emergencies.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm just glad we don't live in a concrete jungle. That stuff happens.
Yeah,
Are you
Dude,
saying we
I'm-
can get more chickens?
sure.
You guys get the chickens. I'll catch the fish.
Well, what if we can't reach each other?
We live down the street.
No,
Yeah, but
that's
our
what they're
cars
saying.
aren't going to work.
I'll be coming
Here's
to your
the crazy
guys' lockdown, and I'll just like be your chicken guy or
But
something.
Andy, That's what you guys aren't thinking about. An EMP knocks our cars out. You literally will have to journey with your family from Tavares to Eustis. And there are pirates.
Don't say our city name.
Oh.
Too late.
Yeah, I mean, the people know.
There are pirates along the way.
Yeah.
You can't take the highways.
Again with the pirates.
Yeah, pirates are everywhere. I don't know if you know this is Florida, Josh.
Not just on ships in the ocean.
Highways are a death sentence.
Hey, I'm going to the Mount Dora tunnels.
Would you attack that man? I wouldn't.
Dude, I would. Dude, if it hits the wall, I'm not kidding. I will do whatever it takes to look crazy.
Yeah.
I will tear off my shirt. I'll cover myself in whatever I need to. Peanut butter. I don't care. I just believe that baby in the vine.
I'm just nervous because I feel like our neighbors don't really like us.
You guys would be the targets.
I don't know if they'll save us.
Leave them behind.
Mr. Wilder doesn't. He's the most valued asset.
Yeah, dude, he has a freaking farm.
I feel like he would be the guy that comes out like John Wick out of like retirement. You have no idea. Like he was just a Marine sniper.
Mr. Wilder will save us all.
Absolutely,
we're on good terms with Mr. Wilder too.
We are, yeah.
I'm going straight to the Ocala National Forest.
I'm one of you, rainbow people.
They're going to initiate you, and so you're going to have to kill someone.
Who you picking?
The guy in peanut butter.
But that's the end of everything. I have a lot more, but that Mels thing took up a good bit of time.
I got a couple stuff too.
Vampire stuff.
Vampire stuff. I have
that we'll talk about on Patreon.
Did you hear about NASA? They're doing a Mars simulator.
Nope, but we're going to talk about that on Patreon.
Yes, we are.
Patreon.com/ninjas or butterflies. You'll get an episode after this episode.
You get behind-the-scenes content, discount codes on the merch that we sell.
And Ada will be on.
Yes. Big Ada. Finally here. We've seen Jane a million times.
Yeah.
But you know what? Get Jane out of the way. We want the firstborn.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's her birthday next week.
It is. It sure is.
Yep, so we got to wish her a happy birthday.
Yep. Okay, guys.
Go to SundayCool.com. Check out our new website. It is easy to use. It's awesome. If you know somebody that has a business or is ordering a lot of shirts or hats or needs anything for their logo or their custom, apparel, boom. Go to SundayCool.com. Refer them to us. We would really appreciate it.
Yes, and go to SundayCoolSwag.com to get all your Ninjas merch, like this Steamboat Willie shirt.
Absolutely. Absolutely gorgeous. And we're coming out with some new shirts. They're going to be really, really cool.
Some stuff for the little ones, like toddlers and all that.
Yeah, we got something with a little bit of Godzilla, possibly.
Ooh, maybe fighting Bigfoot. Ooh. Review us 5 stars on everything, please. It helps a lot.
Yes, it helps. If you want this podcast to get bigger and better, that's how we do it, baby.
Yeah.
Love
okay,
you.
love you.
Love you guys. Bye.
Ninjas are butterflies.
Bye.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind.
You learn martial arts! Ninjas attack!
Do we have a letter?
No, but let's say happy birthday to Heidi, who she lives in the Villages. She's a little kid that loves every episode.
A little kid that lives in the Villages?
Yep.
That's not safe.
She goes to Villages Charter School there. So
cool.
Yeah, that's not safe. Okay. No, yeah. So happy birthday to you, Heidi. And it was yesterday on the February 29th. So she was a leap year baby. So we don't have to do this for another 4 years. Thank goodness.
Happy birthday, Heidi.
Happy birthday.
We love you.
Hey, shout out to Smokums.
Dwight Schmokums. Him and his wife are big fans, and their favorite part is the song. And so,
No, just kidding.
Hey, I was talking to him. He's a barbecue guy. He does a bunch of barbecue smoking, and he put it out there that his wife is going through some medical stuff, and so the podcast brings him a lot of joy. So thanks for watching. Thanks for cooking barbecue and posting stuff about it online.
Send us some ribs.
Yeah, we just sent you some shirts, so that's the least you could do. Come cater an episode.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Love you guys.